What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. My name is Tech.
I am Kojak.
And I'm Wink.
Yes.
Again.
Welcome back. It's almost like he's part of this podcast.
Yeah, it's almost like you're actually not a guest. It's just you're not here sometimes.
I don't feel like a guest. I feel very much like I'm part of something.
For sure. Well, things are a
Whatever
little
that something is.
Yes.
things are a little different with this episode of Critique the Critics. We had people who made a movie reach out to us, and they asked us to do an episode because they said that they found some interesting reactions to their movie, Mom or Mothers of Monsters, and they were like, but you do this and have been doing this for a really long time, and you'll probably do it funnier and better than we will.
Hopefully, they've seen our recent stuff and aren't surprised.
Hopefully, yes. But again, welcome to Critique the Critics. This is the show where we make fun of movie critics and reactions to movies. For example, about Mothers of Monsters, quote from Peter Sobczynski, I think
we've used him before.
I think so too. From efilmcritic.com said, a bleak stunt film that spends too much time being needlessly cruel and nasty and not enough time being especially edifying.
What does that mean?
I think that they thought that it was supposed to teach some sort of lesson and not just be like some thriller that makes you kind of think.
I also don't agree with the stunt thing.
Yeah, it's not really a stunt. It actually happened. That was the stunt. Everything that happened in this movie is
based on a true story.
I mean, this is kind of a found footage film, right? So
More or less.
Maybe he thought all of this actually happened.
Maybe.
And they were like, wow, I can't believe this kid did all this stuff. Just
he
to
doesn't
make a
go
movie.
into the woods ever.
Yeah.
He's really afraid of that witch.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have a bunch of reactions from audience members and, of course, some fake facts that we wrote for you to laugh at. But let's start with an actual review.
Are you sure?
For sure. I will say that overall, this was positively received. I would like to say as well that the people who contacted us, they know what we do. We are not sponsored by them in any way. We're going to do our show, react accordingly, and do our thing. And they know that, and that's what they want us to do. So we appreciate them letting us do this, but also,
or
if we make a joke, maybe they'll, I don't know.
Or we're sorry.
Or we're sorry. And before we get things going, make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you are listening on or watching on, and like and comment and share and do all that good stuff. Now let's get into the first full-on review here. And it is from Rachel Knightley from Starburst.
I love that name, though.
Rachel Knightley? Very good name.
Great
It's
name.
a very good name. That's a star actress name right there.
For
sure.
Right along with Kiara.
Keira Knightley, yeah. They might be related. Let's go look at Rachel Knightley's reviews and see if every one of them, everything is a positive review for everything that Keira
Knightley's in.
And if it is, that means they are probably not related, because if they were related, it probably would have been negative, because it's like, fuck my sister.
True.
Because she's the famous sister. So,
Right.
Oh my God.
Screw her.
I like the twist ending you put in there. It was very,
You didn't
very
know.
Mother of Monsters.
Yeah, exactly. as they say, like a blind prostitute, you didn't see it coming.
Oh, good. We get to stare at him the whole time.
Yes.
Ooh.
Here we go. And for those of you who may not know, just because this is a lesser known movie, because it's brand new and from an indie company, the basic gist of this movie will probably thoroughly be explained in the review, but just the basic gist of it is that this mother or someone is watching these videos of things that have been going on with this kid, and it's basically the mom thinking that he's a psychopath, and you're not sure who's the crazy and who's the not crazy. Is he going to do something messed up? Is he not? Is she going to do something messed up? Is she not? It's basically a cat and mouse situation like that.
Where mom's investigating with real footage of what son's up to.
Exactly. They'll probably explain that in here, but just in case. I just wanted you to not go in blind, There's a refresh.
I mean, if it is on the podcast, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. There's a refreshingly individual aesthetic to Tusia Lyman's home footage style directorial debut. I hope it's Tusia. I think it's probably Tusia. That's going to be my guess. The embattled double act of troubled single mom Abby, Paige Hamilton, best known for Netflix's Messiah, How to Get Away with Murder, and her potentially psychopathic 16-year-old son, Jacob, who's played by Edwards, carried the story in the form of Abby's video diaries and attempts to claw back control of her life and sanity as her son's behavior escalates. But which of them, if either, has survived to be selecting the clips we are clicking open on the computer desktop?
Fixed your grammar.
No problem. And we won't even charge.
We won't. Yep, absolutely free.
Grammarly's free.
Yes, I will say I don't know if this is the one, and I'll be careful to find out.
Sure.
That question that was just asked is kind of an important question for this movie, and one of the reviews I looked at just straight up fucking answered it.
Wow.
And they were just like, the thing that you're wondering for the majority of this film, this is what happens.
That sucks.
It sucks. It was literally like the Darth Vader is your father of reviews. And I was like, are you kidding me? I hope it's not this one. And if it is, I think we'll catch it before it gets read.
Well, and it
But I'm pretty
already
sure.
kind of played on it enough that it's like, I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, it asks the question you're questioning the entire time.
Sure.
Right. Bailey Edwards gives a central performance to remember. Powerful, sinister, and as believably young and vulnerable as he is, aggressive and unpredictable. There are moments. So he's supposed to be 16. I saw a review where they were like, he doesn't look 14. And I was like, I agree.
He doesn't look 14. But they were not asking you to believe that he was 14.
Right. I was
Anyway.
like, he also might not look 16. But I know he wasn't supposed to look 14, so...
As far as casting goes, I feel like they did as good as you can do if you're trying to have a 16-year-old and you're going to ask the actor to be as messed up as they asked.
Not to
this
mention
guy
the fact that, are you sitting here complaining about every single show on television where high schoolers are played by 35-year-olds?
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, are you a teacher here or a student? Because you both have 5 o'clock shadows. And chiseled jaws and abs that most people don't have unless they're hired to be here.
Right.
There are moments of captivating chemistry where we just about envisage mother and son pulling themselves back from this toxic balance of power before Jacob's controlling behavior or Abby's refusal to confront her own past pull them back from each chance for a better future.
I do appreciate that they're going, it could be this, or it could be this.
I do
Not
appreciate
just
that too.
Blatantly giving anything away.
Right. So far they haven't reviewed anything.
No.
But
hey.
what do we expect? Let's be honest.
Right, but I one of the things I don't like, it's one thing to give a quick a synopsis of what the movie is in case you haven't seen it, right?
It's another thing to take half of your piece to explain it.
To take half of your piece to explain it, but for sure, you're not wrong about that. But also to go into it where you're like, and you're questioning this and questioning this and questioning this, and not just like a flat this is what the story's about.
Right.
Let's move on and tell you if it succeeded and if it was good. Instead, it tries to tell you the feelings that you'll feel or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes past that.
I've already got my therapist doing that. I don't need a movie reviewer to do it.
Right, it goes
too.
past the plot and it tells you the emotions that are possibly going to be evoked in you, and you're going to be thinking this, and it's like that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
Just tell me the plot. I need to know what this is, and then you can tell me if it's good. How about that? Overinvestment in the power and intimacy of Abby's not-so-secret camera confessionals means the tension doesn't quite cut it in terms of pace or runtime. Not-so-secret camera confessionals? What?
I
Do you understand what that means?
trying to be mysterious about it.
Yeah, don't even go into that thought. I know what
I
you're
think
thinking.
I think they're trying to not give it away. So I think that's what's going on. So they're trying to confuse us with their words, which is just not helping.
But in any case, I don't know.
It really, yeah, I don't know that it's almost it almost that line almost makes me feel like they're trying to sell this movie to us. You know what I mean? They're like, if I give them a bit of intrigue, maybe they'll go see it. I found like a negative review. Like that actually sounds like they're trying to entice you.
Yeah,
Right.
Which
maybe
is kind
so.
of weird. In spite of how well cast Hamilton and Edwards clearly are, there's greater reliance on pauses than the dialogue is strong enough to carry, and the third act drags where it should get the biggest sparks.
So I think the third act is the part that has the biggest sparks, for sure.
For sure.
That's when it
And
really
they
starts
just,
moving.
They just don't like silence.
Yeah, I mean, a huge purpose of this is silence. A huge point is that, like, we're talking about a descent into psychosis,
Right.
And not being sure who's actually crazy, or if they're both crazy, or how crazy. And what better way to have you feel that than just quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Someone doesn't like to be alone with their own thoughts.
That's probably very true.
And so someone's complaining about the lack of tension during the tense moments.
Yeah,
we've all
Where we don't exactly know what's going on.
We've all met that person that hates silence and just kind of like figures out how to retell the story they just told because no one else is saying anything.
right.
Fair.
I like the thought of this reviewer, like in the theater watching A Quiet Place, just being like, "Somebody say something! Speak, damn it, speak!" And just like storming out of the place, like, "If you're not gonna fucking talk, I'm leaving."
That movie had no tension.
No tension and
Just silence.
I can't believe how little dialogue.
What was that other? Oh god, what was? I'm trying to remember who was in it. It was the movie where the one dude was just at sea by himself for the whole movie. And there's
Life of Pi.
No,
No, not well.
newer
That is
one.
that.
Not the one. No, like that is the whole movie. It's just him. And there's.
I
like
mean, I agree that
13
Life of Pi had a
and there's
tiger.
13
but pretty much
and
the
there's
entire
13
movie is
lines of dialogue in the whole movie, or something like
I
that.
have no idea.
Is it Richard Gere? No,
Wow, what year?
I don't even know
like,
what.
a couple years ago.
Oh, I didn't even
But
know
we're not
Richard
gonna find
Gere
it.
was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
any.
but
Yeah, it was just like it was a long movie of him stuck at sea and with a total of maybe 70 words.
well, she probably wants, you know, that like it's like my favorite scene in The Matrix because it's so stupid. The scene where he's like, the people are following you. Go out the window and go on the scaffolding when Morpheus calls him.
Yeah.
and he talks to himself and he's like, "What's going on? Why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Why am I the one? Why did I get this phone call? Do I go on the like she clearly wanted this whole movie to be just talking to yourself at the moments of silence when people don't do that. I understand we're wondering if these people are crazy and talking to yourself can be kind of crazy, but I think
Right.
come on, it's such a
At
cop
least,
out.
at least mom kind of narrated why she was doing what she's doing.
She had a confessional that
Yeah.
helps the thing happen.
Well,
know?
they're like these not so secret confessionals.
Yeah,
though.
they're not so
Right.
secret.
Yeah.
Not so secret.
And the sparks are later.
Yeah.
What are these sparks? What is going on? How are these sparks happening? What is a spark?
Abby's reasons for wanting to prove her son a potential murderer leak out with the past she's not prepared to go into, happily and self-deludedly confiding in the cameras but never in the professionals whose help she wants. Yeah,
Huh? Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
Mom.
She was well. No, I mean she was trying to get help for her son for sure.
Right.
And trying.
Well, I think they're talking
how do
about
you
her
do-
going
yeah.
in. She was in that doctor's office for that one scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is that
I was like, how do you? Because she also wants to also protect. So how far do you go without just like throwing someone under the bus in general?
also her concern is him.
Yeah.
Her concern isn't her, and she
Right.
doesn't know if she's affecting him
Right.
and causing him to be the way that he is.
Yeah.
So her immediate go-to, most of the time, if a parent is fucked up, right?
Uh-huh.
And then their kid's fucked up, they go, "We need to get my kid help." They don't
Right.
go, "I need to get me help because I'm affecting my child. Because
Right.
later on, the therapist goes, I really think we need to talk to your mom about this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they immediately think it's all on the kid. When the first thing that happens when you go into therapy, they go, tell me about your parents.
Yeah. Oh, and then my opinion of like how I think they were trying to put this movie together is they were trying to come up with basically two opposite spectrum mental disorders and writing around how those would interact with each other while they're trying to like just live
And look at how like family and genetics goes into that
mental disorder in a sense.
Yeah.
Also, is Rachel trying to poke a hole into the idea that the mom would be able to talk with herself about something, but not with a professional? Because I feel like most people would be able to, like, on a camera to themselves, be able to hash out their feelings in a way where they might not be able to with a professional.
Yeah, that's probably.
Also, the idea that like all of this wouldn't have happened and everything would be okay if she just talked to somebody is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
There is a lot more than you just need to talk to somebody here. Very, very clearly. You know, there's even medication involved in this movie. So like there is clearly a little bit more than like let's have a gratitude journal and talk about feelings. It's going to take a little bit more than that. For Christ's
Remember,
sake.
you always have to be grateful.
Yep, just be grateful. That's all it takes. Son fixed. Well done. This speaks volumes about our era, but at the cost of our sympathy, so lowers the stakes, falling short of what a story based on the testimonies and journals of real school shooters and their parents deserves. To be fair, that was just kind of put into this movie not as it didn't seem like as a major statement. It's kind of as like
this movie
a bonus thought-provoking thing.
This movie is an elephant.
Meaning
The movie Elephant.
I don't know that movie.
About the Columbine shooters.
Oh,
okay, yeah. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Oh god, what's his face did it? I'm gonna look it up while we talk about other things.
But I mean, I basically
you didn't even find the last thing you were looking up.
I basically see this as a thrill. Like they wanted to make a thriller and like a kind of a psychological thriller. They based it around ideas concerning, school shootings and concerning, the psychosis of a kid and of families and then it just so happens that they leak these little things in it so that it causes thought and discussion.
Yeah. It's like, what is he actually trying to do? Because there was a lot of things presented.
Right.
And it was Gus Van Sant, by the way.
Right. Okay, yeah.
I got that answer.
Nice. Yeah, and I agree. I don't think that they traveled down that rabbit hole. They used it to make you think, but didn't he even comment that he never planned on doing anything like that?
It's also not the plot.
Right.
It's a side note. It's like woven into the story to help us understand and think a little bit more. It is just giving some muscle and flesh on the skeleton, but that's not what this is about.
Right.
Right.
And if it was, I don't think that they would have made this movie. I think that they would have been like, we're going to make something that really talks about people who go
they would have
shoot up a school.
They would have dove into that.
It would have been completely different. It would have been like a kid who's bullied and
it would have been it would have been, not this.
Yeah.
By chance.
It would have been completely different than
It
this.
would have been different.
Important questions are touched on without ever quite being asked. Musical underscoring includes lyrics about Trump, guns, and schools with greater clarity on Mom's apparent message than the action of the actual script.
You might say that they put Easter eggs into this film for you to pay attention to.
Yeah, they just added color.
Yeah.
They added color to it.
Right.
It's like it's okay to
divert.
Right.
Or red herring or any of those things.
It's, for example, right? What is Night of the Living Dead about?
Right. It's about
Mariah Carey.
Exactly. No, but I mean, it's about zombies for sure. But
Sure,
it's also
right.
about racism.
Yeah.
It's also about classism. It's also about
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Well, no, it's also about people like militias becoming the government. It's about a million different things. But the plot is zombies are attacking and we need to stay alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
But here's other things.
Yeah. So here's all these things.
Why
that get
would you
intertwined.
dare color our zombie movie with all that other stuff?
Oh,
We're
man.
trying to focus on zombies.
Yeah.
Okay?
And if you're gonna do it, just make it a race picture.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because listen, those things deserve to be talked about and delved into with
Yeah.
respectable plots. So why are you making zombie movies? Stop it.
It's just like I picture like, hold on a second. So what do you think about the plight of the African American gentleman? It's like, I'll get with you in just a second. Why don't we talk about how there's not enough Asian representation? It's like, fine. Mom's not offering any answers, but that is not the problem. Yeah, it's definitely not because it never said it would.
Yeah.
And it never implied it would. Even the description of this movie has nothing to do with providing you with an answer. Also, did it provide you with a question?
The question is, what happens if two fucked up people live together?
That's what I'm saying.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, it's not even asking a particular question. It might make you think. It might make you turn to your friend and ask them a question.
See, it's funny you're even saying this because a couple sentences back, important questions are touched on without ever quite being asked.
I didn't put that together either. That's amazing. Wow. So they're not asking anything, but they're asking things, and they're not giving any answers. But they're only giving answers to things that aren't asked.
It's like my ex,
right?
just telling her own story.
or like I've dated people who are like, you never listen to me, and I'm like, you never talk. I've been waiting in silence for you to talk this whole time. I'd love to know about your family. Say words.
But it's silence, so it's just like,
Exactly.
This movie.
So apparently that is not the problem, and here's how it's summed up. With an issue this big, the question it asks needs to be a whole lot clearer. So
the questions that it's not asking need to be
Asked.
clearer.
Yes, and then it needs to not provide the answers that it's providing about the questions that it didn't ask.
And why is it
unclearly.
touching on those questions if it's not going to completely delve into those answers?
Yes.
So
I hope you guys got that. Does that really sum up whether or not you should see this movie?
If you did understand what they said, you've already got your PhD.
Seriously. I would say as soon as stores open up again, go to a store and buy a trophy and an ice cream.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
You did a damn good job figuring out what we couldn't, because I have no idea what this lady's talking
We
about.
just presented you your dissertation.
Yeah, I hope we did. Everyone's mind at the end of this is that's the goal, is to break our minds so that we can really relate to these characters.
I feel like this movie sought to entertain as a thriller more than to give like scientific insight. But I will also say that there might be insights you could pull from it if you really wanted it to affect your life that way.
I really think I agree with that, and I think that the little bits of like having a conversation that you can get out of this, the little bits of thought provoking that you can get out of this are like you ever order like a
No.
you order like a cake or a cupcake or something like that, and like they staple their business card with a little candy on it. Mm-hmm. The candy is the thought provoking part of this thing. It's like, I wasn't expecting that candy. It's awesome. I got a little candy.
Yeah, with your cupcake. I got candy with my candy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, this is great. Now I can have a little conversation about something interesting, and I can kind of walk away from this thinking, but at the end of the day, you entertain me because some crazy stuff happened on a screen.
Yeah.
And now is the part of the show where we read fake facts that we wrote, which is why they're fake, because if we didn't write them, they'd be real.
To avoid a copyright dispute, when we see the mother look at her son's PlayStation game, it says Play 2 instead of using the PlayStation logo. In an unfortunate twist, they were sued by Play 2.
No animals were harmed in the making of this film. The humans, on the other hand, were all tased at least once, even Ed Asner.
The original title of this film was Sons, or SONS, which stood for Someone Needs a Straitjacket. This has been Fake Facts about Mothers of Monsters. Nanny, nanny, poo-poos.
Nanny, nanny, poo-poos.
All right, let's take a look at audience reviews. Not a lot on Rotten Tomatoes, but I went onto Amazon.
Oh, great.
Found
Good
stuff
for
on
you.
Amazon. Yeah.
Good for you.
And
I'm proud of
the
you.
Amazon ones are fun because they have a title and then they review it. Yes.
Interesting.
So they title their own review,
Oh.
which is very nice.
Beautiful.
All right.
There is one. The first one is from Rotten Tomatoes, though.
Gotcha.
I'll lead it off. Why not?
Okay.
Pretty boring. The lead actor is not very good. Very anticlimactic. 2 stars. This was one of the few reviews I could actually find. One that were negative, to be honest. And it's I'm trying to figure out who the lead actor
That's
is.
what I was thinking. The right when they said that.
Yeah, I was like, is it Mom?
Or is it him? They both have equal screen time.
They're
Kinda, yeah.
also both really good.
I don't care if they're... Just clarify.
But
Yeah.
they're good.
I agree that they're good. I liked both of them. But, like, if you're going to say it, at least clarify.
Yeah, one more sentence worth of he or a she on there would have been needed.
Yeah, it's like your review of Avengers Endgame is dumbest superhero I've ever seen. And we're like, there's 45 of them. Which one?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it was pretty anticlimactic how everything changed.
How everything changed at the climax.
at the climax.
All right, what's this next one? From Donna. Oh, this is an Amazon one now.
Yep,
So
we're right
the
into
title is
Amazon.
Don't Waste Your Time. 1 star.
Mm-hmm.
Good. If I could give this -5 stars, I would. I don't usually leave comments on movies, but I had to for this one. You leave comments on
Yeah, I don't believe you for
We
a
know
second.
you,
the
Donna.
second you write that, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That's like I don't want to cause drama. That's like
yeah.
no offense.
Yeah.
Right before you say something offensive. That's like I'm not trying to be a dick when like you're immediately a dick.
Yeah. I kept watching it thinking there was going to be a twist in the end, that it was all a bad dream. You want that?
That's why I put this in here. That's exactly why I put this in
No
here.
one will ever do that again after Dallas.
It's funny. It's funny because like Star Trek: The Next Generation had an episode where at the end it turned out that it was
Simulation or
no,
whatever?
it was all a psychotic episode going on in Riker's head. And I was like, that's fine, because it was all just a dream. But now no one can do that one because it'll just become a trope again. It was all just a dream. It's the worst movie trope
That's
ever.
I don't know. I wrote myself into a hole.
I don't know how to finish this.
So yeah.
That's literally what it is. I don't know how to finish this.
Family
Yeah,
Guy did a pretty good one about that, where it was like a simulation, and then Brian's like, "You don't think that's kind of a cheap move to literally negate everything your audience just watched? You don't think that's kind of unfair to do to your audience?"
Well, it's like the kid. It's very similar to like when you pull down the visor in the car and the keys are there.
Yeah.
Like it's as cheeseball as that.
Have you met anybody who does that?
No.
Ever.
Never.
But I think in 1980, I think everyone did that.
Like, even
I think so. If movies are right,
I don't
don't know.
I don't think they're right.
I'm not going to even finish this last sentence. It doesn't
No,
matter.
that's exactly the reason. I
But
put this
also,
in
you
here.
can give -5 stars by leaving it blank and not doing a review. Because if you go to a movie and literally it has no reviews, you're like, oh, this must not have been very good.
Also, if you never leave reviews and you wanted to leave it an amount of stars that you can't, then just continue the never leaving reviews pattern.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
But she's left reviews.
Yo, she
Sure.
did. All
right.
right. Take a look at this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Alex82.
Uh-oh.
The audience is the victim. No.
I would love to make a movie like that. If you could figure out how to legitimately make the audience the victim.
Well, like where they die, like there's
I don't-
no repeat watching at that point. You want to sell the Blu-ray later. If they die, there's no one to sell it.
Yeah,
to.
that's no good. But if you
mean-
make it a dream after the fact,
I mean, the VHS.
then they're all right.
But the VHS in the ring seems to do pretty well for itself.
That's a good point.
True enough.
All right,
I just picture this guy being like, the audience is the victim. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, chills.
chills.
Let's see how melodramatic you are, Alex. All right. It's the hyper sensationalized at home story of every sociopathic, privileged emo entitled Too Many Adjective teen boy from the suburbs. Surprise, Mom's got skeletons too. I did actually make it through the whole movie, congratulations, because I was working on something else and didn't want to bother looking for some other background noise.
Oh, wait, so you didn't watch it.
Right.
It just existed around you.
Yes, it's just some tool having tantrums and his sad mom, more relative to some than others.
Wow, you are just a bucket of empathy.
Yeah, seriously.
For sure. Also,
Are
I
you
don't
sure this isn't Jared Kushner?
exactly. I don't think you're allowed to say every sociopathic privileged emo entitled teen boy from the suburbs. If you watch this movie, the way he acts and the way this ends, you're not allowed to use the word every.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
You can go.
We'd have a whole nother problem on our
we have
hands.
a way bigger discussion. That's going on.
That's really what's going on with that.
Mothers of Boring is the title of this one.
Really
Shindig.
well done.
Well done.
The play on words.
Maybe we should start using
Brilliant.
Amazon for this stuff. It's just, it's more entertaining.
He wanted this person wanted an adjective that was insulting,
Mob.
but couldn't think of one that started with M.
Yeah.
And just went with boring. That's
Yeah.
just lazy writing. This was by far the slowest and boring film.
Mothers of Mundane would have been it.
Yeah.
I was going to go Mothers of but that means something different.
Yeah, that's more
That's
of a,
the porn
yeah, it's
parody.
more of a porn review. This was by far the slowest and boring film I've ever seen. There was no point in making this film if it's not going to be consistent and tackle on the initial subject at hand. What's the initial subject at hand?
It was asked, but it wasn't.
Oh,
and we need to clarify the crystal clear.
Fair point. My bad.
This person thought that it was a review of the phone camera that the mom was
Yes, right.
using.
Yeah,
This is actually a Samsung commercial.
Why did she never tell us what about the thing? I don't know.
I can't believe they bashed Nokia the way they did.
Yeah.
All this was a kid who is spoiled and a mom that has no backbone. Sure, yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah.
I feel like people aren't getting to the end of this, or you live in fucked up towns. Sure, the ending was okay, but trust me, that's all it was. Do yourself a favor and just skip to the ending, because it'll mean so much not having any context.
Yeah.
This is just a normal day in Ohio.
Right? I hate when people say just skip to the end.
You can't.
You can't. It has no context whatsoever. Like
Right.
you have no. You'd be like, why did that happen? Man,
People don't understand that gratifying feeling they got with the cool ending you want them to skip to was something that the filmmakers had to earn from you.
right? They had to build to it with context.
Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It makes no sense. It's pointless.
Right. You can't skip to a meal being gone.
Say, how'd you enjoy that?
Yeah. How'd you enjoy
That's
it?
how bulimics work.
That is true. Well, they
Wow.
man.
Anyways, people blathering at handheld cam is not a movie. Neat.
Neat.
YouTube begs to differ.
This movie plays on the fears and anxiety of every soccer mom in America.
Wow.
Okay.
Stop being so condescending,
Yeah.
Ellis.
You would have to watch the news every day for years to be brainwashed enough to be able to stand watching this for more than a minute or two. If you are looking to lower the bar, as are most, this is a great tool. Just like you tool.
Why on earth would you have to be brainwashed to watch this movie?
He doesn't like the lack of stabilization.
I guess.
Or it was stabilized. Everything was
stabilized.
Everything
No,
was
but
stabilized.
I don't understand why you would have to watch the news and be brainwashed in order to watch a thrilling movie about two people who are kind of crazy.
Because people aren't really like that unless
People
you
like-
watch the news and they tell you to be scared of people.
I mean, some
and
people
stuff.
just like shitting on the little guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen videos like that. So these two go together.
Okay.
So we have to read one
And then read
and
the
then
other.
read the other one.
Okay.
Is it you now?
I think
happy-
so.
all right, so you,
So
get
you
to
read
Happy
one.
Camper.
So we've got Happy Camper, gives 2 stars, says it's weird, pretty good, but really weird.
Fair enough.
All
and
right.
then Mikey
Mikey
K says,
K.
skip it. Strange. Not really that good.
So they counteract each other.
Yes.
4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5 stars. And the review, like neither of the, I actually think neither of these reviews exist.
Yeah.
It's weird but pretty good, but strange but not really that good. It's a wash. In fact, it does exactly what this movie does, which is ask questions without asking questions, giving no answers, but giving the answers that we didn't want.
Well,
To
it's
the questions
reasons
that
like
weren't
this
really
that I-
asked that they were asking.
It's reasons like this that I want to make that arbitrary rating site where it was just like with this, it's like out of 10, you know, all the other places gave it a 4 out of 10, but it's an indie movie, so that adds 2 points to the actual quality of the movie because there's people who downvote indie, like coming up with these arbitrary numbers. People don't like DC, so an automatic 4 out of 10 points off of that. So let's put 3 back
We should
on
just
there.
make an incredibly impossible equation where we're just like, it gets 4 chickens, 2 hammers, and a duckling, and we're like, what the hell does that mean? And you have to go to this like glossary that explains what
just like a deep Wikipedia page.
Yeah, exactly. Of just explaining what that means. And unfortunately, a duckling, right, is 2 horses and a vampire bat,
Right.
added to each other and then divided by like
But-
just keep
but-
going deeper and deeper.
But it wasn't given a canoe to transport it across the lake, so we can only
Right.
keep one of those animals.
Right.
Yeah.
And all
But-
of this is rated if you watch it with one eye open.
Sure.
and
Yeah.
the other closed.
You're right.
Right.
And if you
Just like
haven't
every
watched the
critic.
news in the suburbs
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
But it got 1,000-year egg.
Exactly. Well, we got one final one to take a look at.
All right. Typical Headcase from Ohio. Didn't I say Ohio a second
You
ago?
did.
You ready?
Predictable. Just another day in Ohio.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
You know-
we all make fun of Ohio.
I also love in this that the title and the review are the same thing, but he chose to word it differently.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Mark's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Mark really knows his Ohio.
here's what I think happened. I think that Mark wrote the review and then went, oh shit, that's just the title.
I
And then
think
went
you're right.
I think if I reword it, I mean, typical Headcase from Ohio is pretty good.
I'll just say this is just what happens in Ohio.
In Ohio, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, just another day
Saved.
in Ohio. Wait, that's not enough. That's not enough. We'll put predictable in front of it. We'll put
Predictable.
Well, thank you.
How predictable was this movie? Let's be honest.
Not very.
I wish that I could.
out of 10, what would be the predictability?
The predictability?
One being super predictable, 10 being not predictable at all.
It was I didn't even know what I was gonna predict till we got to like just about the third act.
Yeah.
So I would say it's probably like an 8. Like
easily
in
an 8. And there
predictability.
was definitely at least one moment that was a 9.
So I want
that we all caught.
Yeah, where we were just like, what?
I want to talk to that guy before he watched this movie to think, like, to see what his prediction is, because I think the only thing that he's going to predict is that it's like a messed up kid and like a mom.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized the face mask on the poster is a lens.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's really
So there's a
cool.
bunch of stuff on here that
Very
cool.
clever.
Everyone look at the poster if you can't see it.
Also,
watching the podcast.
the M.O.M stands for Mothers of Monsters. Oh, everyone knew
Thanks
that
so
already?
much for watching our show, guys. We appreciate it. Of course, this is the Critique the Critics podcast. Make sure you subscribe, and also you can watch on the Boss Level 8 YouTube channel. And thanks so much for the people who made this movie, asking us to make this. I hope you like what we did. I mean, you just said do our thing, and that's what we do.
We
So,
like what you did.
yeah, we liked the movie.
Let's make
and there
something
was,
together.
And we did watch this live, and there were some people who it wasn't for. It doesn't mean good or bad. It just means that some people are going to like it and some people
Well,
aren't.
it's the thing that we always talk about. Sometimes there's no such thing as one thing for everybody.
Yeah, but on our end, we definitely enjoyed it. So we appreciate it, guys. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.
Bye.